No. Are we ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, we're here.
Y'all are like, whatever. Well, welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least 3 topics each week. For the record, the three of us are our point person and optimistic realist. We call her Star.
Clear all this space. Clear today.
Okay. And the center of our threesome and our voice of reason, we call him Magic.
I really feel like, did sexual molestation turn you into a deviant or squeamish is a valid question on a first date.
Sorry.
You bore her.
That is not true. I was already tired. That's not nice. Don't say that.
Yeah, we took the video off of this, so I can't be entertaining at the moment. Sorry.
There was video?
There was an option before, somebody was being a punk about it.
That would be you. Anyway,
I make my OnlyFans money. Anyway.
Bringing up the rear, as usual, I identify as the pragmatic contrarian of the group, and they call me Storm. So,
let's go!
Star, we about to argue about this COVID again.
Yeah, we're about to argue about COVID, but before we do that, I had myself all together. I want to say rest in peace to Stan Cleveland, aka DJ Equad from the city of Detroit, although he has traveled internationally and done his thing. Stan was my boy. Like, I'm so hurt this week, and he passed. He contracted COVID. He took a quick, that rapid test or whatever, and like within 2 days he was gone.
Damn.
And like, I know there are a lot of people who claim to be DJs, and but Stan was like a DJ's DJ. Like, music was like his passion in life, and he had a great skill for moving a crowd. Like, he knew how to read a crowd, he knew how to keep the party going, and not all DJs know how to do that. That is like a talent that I believe any serious DJ must have, and he was definitely blessed to have it. Also, he was just a great guy. Like, he loved his mom, he loved his son, and like, he was just a great dude. And I'm just sad that he's gone. So rest in peace, DJ Equad.
Rest in peace. I wasn't fortunate enough to attend any of his functions because, basically,
you don't leave the house,
right? Well, you don't put on clothes to leave the house.
Even before I left the house, even before when I used to leave the house, all my friends are trash, so they don't.
Here we go.
They never took me.
Here we go.
They never took me anywhere, so there's
just throw my ass in the recycling bin. Then
kidnapping is against the law.
Right? The fuck.
Well,
she wasn't going no way. And anyway,
you don't know that.
How you one of the people that want to be invited but know you ain't going?
I ain't even going.
I have been places. My God.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm talking about, early on, back in the day when I used to get out the house.
Okay.
Before not about I knew you.
Rest in peace to a real DJ.
That's right. Rest in peace.
Gotta make it about you.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to make it about me. My God.
Ooh, that's a good ass drink.
Okay, so what are we arguing about?
So we were talking about how people are like losing their job all around the country with these fucking forced vaccinations, and you feel like the employers have, a ground to stand on. And even though I don't necessarily agree, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree that they don't have a ground to stand on. I mean, it's their business. They have a right to do whatever they want. However, my feeling about it is this: it's fucked up that an employer can force you to inject your body with something
They can't.
in the as a
Yeah,
condition
they
of
can.
continued employment.
Okay. In this case, like I said, and I think what we were talking about was the schools. I think my alma mater, Michigan State, had said to their employees that they have to get vaccinated in order to
Fucked up.
work there.
Fucked up.
Which I agree, they should, because if somebody contracts that virus that they picked up there, guess who they're not coming after? They're not coming after you, employee, who decided you didn't want to get vaccinated. They're coming after the school. That is who they're going to sue. Okay. And people in this country love to do what? They love to sue.
So I'm gonna inject my body
Listen. I've worked
with
in
some shit.
Listen, I've worked in hospitals all my goddamn life. Okay. Every time I work in a new hospital, you can't even get into the dang on orientation before they have poked you with a certain number of things. You have to have you have to have your TB. You have to be up to date on all your vaccinations, and that's even if you don't even work in the hospital itself. So
Okay,
this is not a
that's
new thing. Okay.
okay. So that's a condition of employment.
Yes.
I'm talking about a condition of continued employment.
Remix.
And let me say this: the TB vaccine, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken,
Uh,
was tested and developed for over a fucking decade before they had people take it.
Ooh, well then you'll be very you'll be very pleased to know that this particular vaccine, these mRNA vaccines, have been in development for over 2 decades. Just because the public is just now hearing about them doesn't mean they weren't in development. Okay, that's the first thing. They've been in development for more than 2 decades.
The MR.
so they were developing the disease and the
No, not the disease. They were
cure
developing.
at the same
No,
time.
no. The
They
mRNA. You have to
No, I'm just
understand the
saying.
mRNA.
I wasn't
The
asking a
MR.
question. I was just saying.
Okay, but I'm telling you because clearly you're confused. The mRNA part of that is not the vaccine. The mRNA is the delivery mechanism by which you are getting the vaccine. That has been in development for decades.
the delivery
Not doubting that at all.
mechanism
Yeah, it's
for.
for the
I'm
vaccine.
not doubting. I'm talking about the vaccine.
No,
It's
okay. First of all, no vaccines. When they developed the polio vaccine, that wasn't in development for a decade before they started giving people the polio vaccine. I mean, this is what vaccines do. They don't develop whole new vaccines for everything. They take the delivery method that they have, and then they take a part of the matter of fact, when they were doing polio vaccines back in the day, they were injecting live polio into people.
Yes, they were. And
Yeah,
that
they
is,
don't do that anymore.
but before they made it, before they put it into use in the United States, they were still working on that sucker for about a good 5 years.
Yes, and they were still injecting people with live polio vaccine.
But
And
they weren't
Don't they
forced. They
still
weren't.
do that with flu vaccines?
you know why they weren't forced? Because everybody was lining the fuck up. You know why? Because people were dying of
People trusted the
polio.
government?
Yeah, because they trusted the fucking
And
government.
people were dying of polio. People's kids were dying or becoming maimed
Yeah,
in droves.
yeah.
So
What
they were
percentage, I don't expect you to know this off the top, but I'm just checking. What percentage of people that had polio died from it?
I can look it up.
Hmm.
In the United States or just globally?
It's America. We don't care about other countries. Actually, ironically, COVID numbers are lower in other countries because most of their citizens are fairly healthy.
Well, I don't know that that's necessarily
Five to
true.
10%, 5 to 10% resulted in death. 1 in 200 infections led to permanent paralysis, and 5 to 10% of those cases resulted in death.
Yeah. Polio, by the way, was spread by exposure to um, infected.
Way higher numbers than COVID.
Well, no, because polio wasn't spread in the same. Well, polio
I'm
also
talking
wasn't.
percentage wise.
Well,
Of course,
yes,
polio was harder to get.
yes, polio was much harder to get because you had to be exposed to an infected person's fecal matter,
Yeah.
more or less. But still, a lot of people got it. So, yeah. But yeah, as soon as they made that polio vaccine available, people lined up. You couldn't keep you could people were fighting trying to
I
get
think
it.
people were more trusting of the government at that time.
Also, people didn't want their children
No, I get that. People want their
yeah.
kids paralyzed. I get it.
Yeah. There, there
Um,
there were a lot of things going on, but yeah.
here again. Here's my thing. I've worked in one hospital. I've worked in a couple of other places, and I've gone to school where we were required to take Hep B, TB, all of those other things, right?
Mhm.
So that was as a condition of being, a part of the program or entering a workplace, right?
Right.
So I signed up for that, right? But what I fucking didn't sign up for is some shit that hasn't even been. You're gonna force me to take it? You're gonna force me to take it
Nobody's
to
forcing
remain
you to take.
employed. To remain employed.
You have a choice. You
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 don't fucking
you
really have a choice.
you do have a choice. You had a choice in order to become employed. You had a choice.
Okay.
You didn't have to get stuck by TB.
No, you didn't have to
You
get
didn't
stuck
have to.
by TB. But how many adverse reactions have you heard, like, over the decades about?
A lot.
I
Matter of
mean,
fact,
I'm talking percentage wise versus the people who get it. I'm just saying, like, the numbers are probably really low.
the numbers are also very low with this vaccine.
Yeah, now they are. Um, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean the numbers are incredibly low
What the numbers are incredibly low for what?
for this vaccine. Matter of fact, I mean, and you know this because you had a child. When you take your child to get vaccinated, what did they used to tell you? Monitor for
Fucking
the next
remember.
24 hours because the child might get a fever, there might be a rash at the injection. There's always a chance that there's going to be an adverse reaction to anything.
That is very true. But now what you don't really hear them talking about Now you have people who are, especially women, who are reporting issues with their menstrual cycles. And yeah,
I have not heard that. and
yeah,
and
it's a
and I
thing.
be looking at that, and I have not seen that at all.
Go. I mean, just Google it.
Because I mean, I wish. I mean, if there, my God, I wish the hell that was a side effect I would suffer.
I mean, listen, I want mine to go away too. However, for women who are of childbearing age or trying to become pregnant, that's a
Yeah.
problem.
Snopes.com says that this is false.
I don't give a. I don't care.
I'm just saying.
They just had it. No,
I don't see any reliable source that is confirming that, but I'll look at it later to make sure.
you have
Because
people all over the internet reporting, and so it's just a matter of
the
time.
people on the internet say it, it must be true.
No. Here's the thing. That's what happens. I mean, before any kind of research or anything is done,
Okay.
okay,
Well, I'm saying if they're reporting it to the internet and not reporting it to their physicians, then
but they
sure.
are though.
Okay, but I'm just saying I'm not seeing any reliable source saying that that is true. People on the internet also said that their children's vaccines because what's that crackpot's name? Uh,
Oh,
Pick
swoop
one.
or poop or
no, no,
what's her
no, no,
name?
no. Used to be married to Jim Carrey.
Oh, I forgot.
She's on the Masked Singer. Can't think of her name. Anyway, Jenna McCarthy. She told y'all. She told everybody that vaccines made people's children gave people's children
Autism.
autism, and then all of a sudden everybody was on the internet talking about, yeah, my child got autism from vaccines, and people started believing that. And every study that people cited that supposedly confirmed that has been debunked. Even the people who did the studies were like, yeah, we were tripping. And
And
yet,
the motherfuckers
it,
listening to fucking Jenny McCarthy was tripping.
well,
Like,
I agree. But my point is because it went out there and because people said it was true, there are still people to this day that believe that dumb shit. To this day, there are people who will not vaccinate their children because they think they're going to get autism. Or because they think the vaccines are worse than whatever the disease they might get, which I mean, I've never in my lifetime seen a child with measles, and I don't want to, but kids are starting to pop up with that shit because people will not vaccinate their
vaccinate their
children.
kids. Well, okay. So,
So
and just as a side note, NPR has an article that was done this summer
okay,
about women reporting menstrual cycle changes after
okay.
the vaccine. And so,
NPR is not peer reviewed, but
no, I
but
know, I
send me
know.
the article and I'll look at it.
Yep, I got you. I got you. They talked to some folks on here. They're citing, University of Illinois, and they also
Mm-hmm.
cited that reproductive health was not really taken into consideration when they were doing the trials for COVID-19 vaccine. So it's something
Okay.
that they're now looking into. So
You
we'll
you
probably hear more about that
okay?
coming up.
Do you know what you know what we know for a fact actually
Hmm.
affects your reproduction? Actually has the high numbers of it
Death,
affecting reproduction?
death, yes.
No. COVID-19. COVID-19.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, we know that. That has been studied.
That's fucked up.
And that's one of the long-term effects of that particular infection.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, you could absolutely have problems, particularly men, um, You know, it can cause men to.
Why are you laughing at the men's issues?
Because it's hilarious.
Because she hates men.
Where do you get this dumb shit? I do not hate men.
I don't know, 50 some episodes of this podcast.
Oh, good Lord. I first of all,
You can't even get it out your mouth. Stop it.
if I hated men, I wouldn't have so many male friends. I like men better than I like women. So I don't know where you get this I hate men.
Did you just pull the white person, I have black friends thing?
No, I just pulled the I have more black friends than I have white friends thing. That's what I pulled the white person, I can't stand white people thing. That's what I pulled. Because
Lord.
most women irritate me. So I actually have more male friends than I have female friends. So I don't know how you assume I hate men, because I don't.
It's not an assumption.
It's crazy. It is an assumption, and it's a very incorrect assumption.
People, listen to back episodes, form your own opinions.
Well, I don't give a fuck about anybody's opinion. I'm just telling you what the truth
Especially
is.
men's.
No, especially yours.
Because I'm a man.
No, because you're annoying.
Everybody's annoying. It could be you.
Could be, but it's not. Anyway.
Denial is the first stage.
Sure. First of all, I'm fucking delightful. So we already know this.
So, how about those Lions?
The Lions, let's hope, will lose on Sunday.
What'd you say?
I said, I hope the Lions lose on Sunday.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
It's men.
No, because they're playing my fucking Steelers.
You like the team with,
and that's why they'll end up winning.
Okay.
The Lions at least once a year pull one game out their ass to piss off.
Absolutely. And I said that the other day to one of my friends. I was like, oh, the Steelers got the Lions this weekend. You know, they should win that game easy. I said, so naturally they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm. The Lions pull just to fuck shit up for everybody. They pull at least one game out their ass every year.
But anyway.
For that season they
you know, black and yellow, all that. Go Steelers. Here we go, Steelers, all of that.
Unless you go to the quarterback's locker room or hotel or anything.
What?
So unless you go to the quarterback's hotel.
What? Anyway. So are we done with that?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. You kink shaming. Who are you kink shaming?
So it all began in a group of sexual deviants, to say the least. A lot of FetLife people who do things that are, you know, above and beyond normal, what would be considered normal sex practices.
There's a lot of
freaks.
No, that's not the word I want to use.
Expressive, free.
There are a lot of different kinks. That's what I call them. Different.
Yes.
There are a lot of different kinks on FetLife where I'm like, you know, I mean, I'm looking through my fingers like, oh, I didn't know about that.
I might dabble, but yeah, they wilding.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
I think that's where I was going with that. I mean, you know,
to each their own.
Yeah, nothing against them, but
some of y'all, whoo. So, older Caucasian woman from the group decides to jump in my messages, and I'm like, I'm bored. I'll play along. And she invites me to a thing called Splash in Atlanta. Somewhat aware of what goes on behind the scenes, but I'm like, I've never heard of Splash before. So I go and look it up, and it's basically one weekend long sex party in a hotel, but the I guess the catch for this one is it's all interracial.
Okay.
Um, I realize I'm out the loop. To keep it a buck, I not naturally attracted to fair skinned women. Just a thing. Be mad if you want to. It's a preference. It's racial, not racist. Is is fucking somebody of a different background, culture, ethnicity, or whatever still like a taboo delicacy in 2021? Damn near 22.
For some cultures, I believe it is.
I was gonna say you're asking the wrong person.
I would guess if in other countries, maybe where there's not so much of a melting pot, but in America,
Well, I mean, you got to understand, some people grow up such that they're not okay.
yeah, this chick lives in Houston.
Well, believe it or not, that explains some things. I mean, I mean, but yeah, it's. I mean, some people grow up not being exposed to a lot, or they are exposed to some things, and they just get certain notions in their head.
I
But
get that in certain areas. For instance, my mother's from West Virginia. If I go to West Virginia, the county she lives in probably has 20 black people and they're all family. So, okay, white chicks out there are like, oh my God, it's a black guy. I've seen movies, I've heard things. Okay, fine. But in regular civilization, like, I'm supposed to be impressed just because you're white? Like, I'm supposed to be drooling, like, ooh, white woman. What is this, fucking slavery times?
I mean, well, first of all, you would be surprised. Well, or you wouldn't.
Oh no, I know a whole bunch of black people, men and women at this point, who damn near refuse to mess with anybody else that's black and slap yourselves.
Okay, I agree.
Whole bunch more white women that don't mess with nothing but black men.
Yes.
Go ahead and piss off your daddies.
I mean, I know. I mean, I know some white dudes who don't mess around with white women.
I feel
That's
you.
just their preference, and I mean,
You are hilarious.
I
some.
don't mind it as a preference, but if that's all you go for, you're wilding.
I mean, if it's all you go for,
There's some self
because
hate in there some way.
Well, I mean, not always. I mean, certainly in some cases, yes.
I would venture to say most.
Okay. I mean, I'm in no position to quantify that one way or another. But I mean, I've just known people who they just have a preference and that's what they like. And
Yeah, I don't mind a preference, but we all know a brother that's like, "Ugh, I never mess with black women. Like they got too much attitude, and then you go get the most niggerish white chick you can find."
right, which is always funny to me.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to make this a black or white thing for the sake of jokes. Let's kink shame some people. Um,
Okay.
any
I
fucking
mean,
porn site I go on to, there's a lot of incest videos. I don't know when that became a thing and why it's so big. And then the dudes that defend it will be like, but it says stepbrother or stepmom. Like, nah, that's still creepy.
yes, very. Um,
We've been over it before. If you like girls calling you daddy, you're a disturbed
weird.
person.
Yes. I agree.
Or the girls in
are
schoolgirl
you
suits, like,
happy?
that's gross.
I agree with that as well.
Tell you wasn't
But
getting no pussy in school.
but I mean, it ain't something I'm fitting do. But I mean, I guess I can't. If that's your thing, and somebody wants to play along with you, then more power to y'all. But it just won't
Yeah.
be me.
Find
Um,
people that go along with your kinks.
yeah. Um,
Mm,
I'm trying to think um, of some things that I've seen where I'm like, nah.
Scat play, the bleeding thing.
Oh yeah, none of that because all of
well,
that is
okay.
gross.
So back up for the uninformed. What is scat play?
Shit.
Feces. Feces.
Ew.
Yes. Also, anything involving. I was gonna say any being that's not human, but
Oh yeah, bestiality is
Bestiality.
weirdo shit.
I mean, I'm not even talking about necessarily the penetration thereof, but I've seen people with the, I'm gonna let my dog lick here, or gross. Don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that.
Ew.
I'm not sure you can get consent from other animals.
Right. And also, it's just gross. Just don't do that.
Disgusting.
I had a chick approach me before about the
The way my
consensual,
dog is looking at me
non-consensual
like,
thing, and I could
ew.
not do it.
Don't get to looking at me with a square eye.
I know, he's looking at me like, I can't believe you even brought that up. I'm sorry. You were saying magic.
Oh, now I'm just going to leave that for the people who caught it.
But I want to. Well, I guess I don't want to catch it now that you said that. I don't.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, yeah. When you go on Fet, you realize how, or at least I did. I realized how not worldly I am. I guess
Yeah, I might dabble in some freak shit here and there, but up on there, I'm like,
because
nah, I'm vanilla, son.
exactly.
I ain't got to go through all that to get excited.
Yeah, because I mean, you read some of the profiles on Fet, and I'm like, for real? I'm like, and this is the stuff that you're putting out there. So there, you know what I mean? So I'm apt to believe that there's more that you're not saying. But yeah,
I don't think any of them are holding back.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe because yeah, I mean yeah, because they don't. But yeah, but it's still interesting because I like to
Yeah,
I
I
like to
watch.
I like to study people, so it's still interesting to go on there and see what people are up to. But yeah, people
Till
are
a chick
wild.
offers to peg me, and then it's a wrap.
Ah.
And I don't know why they would, because there are so many dudes on there that will tell you
Good
that's what they
Lord.
like.
Yeah.
There's so many on there that are like, this is what I like. So I don't know why they would offer that to you when there are so many other dudes they could offer it to. So,
I
uh,
guess because I happen to be amongst them at times. I really don't check that shit as much as I should. Ha. But
yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. That's an experience. I think everybody who's old enough, and by that I mean like over the age of 35, because if you're not 35, you're not old enough to be on there.
Mm.
Although there are plenty of people under 35 that are on there. I will say that.
yeah.
But they shouldn't be. And I'm going to tell all y'all mamas, just kidding.
Youthful experiments are a thing,
I
and
get
you
it.
should go through some things and realize where your limits are.
I get it, but damn, have some limits, y'all. Like, have some.
Yeah.
Nah, but for real, I mean, I find it fascinating. I really do. But some of the stuff that these people say they like. And yeah.
I wonder how much of it is a requirement or how often it happens. Because I'm thinking, like, okay, you could be
Honestly,
into a bunch of wild shit and that's cool, but you got to have like regular sex most of the time, right?
honestly, I think a good deal of them just play that shit out on FET. You know what I mean? Like, this is just what they say
I'm
on the
so out
site.
of the loop. I don't even know what this site is.
FetLife.
To
It's
simplify, the fet is short for fetish, and
I figured.
yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of like a Facebook for kinks, basically.
Mm,
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
very tight knit community
it's
and
like
huge.
it's like social media for kink. It's what it
mm,
is.
A lot of very graphic pictures and videos.
mm.
Yes, and there are a lot of people with some interesting things to say
And show
and
for
show
free.
for
Mm.
yeah,
Fuck you,
yeah.
OnlyFans. I'm going to Exotica next month. I
Okay,
just want to see what it's like.
okay.
I'm taking a chaperone, so I can't get too excited.
Okay.
We're gonna see how much of that life she about.
What is Exotica?
It's like, for lack of a better description, like a porn star convention. But they have a lot of people from the movies and displays, and there's some after parties which I've been told we can't go to. Punk. But
Mm.
But yeah, shout out to y'all that are out there finding other people who
Are weird just like you.
just
No.
as weird as y'all are, right? I think that's wonderful. Honestly, I do.
indeed,
I think it's wonderful. Find somebody who is
on the shit
equally
you own.
as twisted as you are.
Yep. Might as well. Instead of forcing that shit on the others.
Onto other people. Exactly. And that's exactly true.
The thing is, from the ones I know, most of them are cool. They wouldn't force that shit on anybody, but they go and check to see. It's a lot of consent discussed beforehand. Like, yo, this is what I'm into.
And that is
Can you
true.
fuck with it?
Yeah, and that is true.
If a lot of you church going motherfuckers would be that honest with yourselves, the world would be a better place.
Hell, a lot. How many of them church going motherfuckers are got them profiles on FET? I bet.
I'd say a good 50% easy.
I would say it's probably closer to 70. I think. Yeah.
Most
Um,
important in all of this, I know we talking shit, different people like different things. People, live your motherfucking truth.
Mhm.
Stop being out here trying to act like you are some shit you are not. Most of the people you trying to impress ain't impressed and they see through your bullshit. Be you.
right. Yeah.
Unapologetically.
Very well said.
I've seen people in action. Fake motherfuckers.
Well, we've got some letters.
We do. Um,
Thank you.
well,
I
which
don't
one do
know
you
why
guys
y'all
want to?
listen to this shit, but we appreciate you.
Yeah, we do.
Which one do you guys want to do first? So somebody has a dilemma, and then I have a follow up from another letter we did.
Oh, I want the follow up.
Okay. Also,
Can we
need
guess
to
which
find.
one it is? Can we guess which one it is?
Yeah, I guess.
Is it the D kid? I wanted him to write back.
Right.
No, wasn't him.
Is it the
Is
one
it-
chick that was mad at me?
I don't remember her, but no.
Okay.
Also, we need to find a different title for listener letters because that's just boring. I don't know. The sounding board. I don't know. We'll work on it.
Because after discussing kinks, sounding is just frightening. It's another one like, yo, how desperate are you to feel something?
And you know I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, she says, or do you guys want me to tell you which one she is before, or do you
Nah,
wanna...
just go.
Okay. She says, hi, Magic. And then in parentheses, she says, hi, Star and Storm. See, I used your
the one that
names
said ladies
this
before.
time. Yeah, she was the one that reduced us to the pits last time.
Hey, baby.
Lord. Anyway, she starts it out. You were right about everything.
Oh
and it
wow.
and it didn't even take long.
Wow.
I pressed my fiance, she put fiance in quotes, for a date, and he got mad. That's when he told me he was only marrying me because I wouldn't let it go. So yeah, he went right back to the same guy he was before. Needless to
Wow.
say, I'm making plans to move for my job in January.
Good for you.
I
Get
haven't
your money.
I haven't told him. Maybe I'm being petty because I'm hurt, or maybe I'm afraid he'll try to change my mind, or worse, that I wouldn't stand my ground. Either way,
Aw.
either way, I've made up my mind that I'm leaving. Thank you guys for opening my eyes and steering me in the right direction. And
Yay!
she signed it a sister, and then she put in parentheses, no longer twisted.
Oh, yay!
I
Good
mean,
for
if you
you.
find the right dude, you can get twisted in a better way. But yeah,
Right.
we happy for you.
For sure.
Absolutely. And this is
And thanks for letting
absolutely,
us know.
yeah, and this is absolutely the right decision because bruh man just didn't, he didn't want good things
Motherfucker wasn't
happening to
ready.
you.
No.
Well, he didn't want to be married, so you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you can't force a motherfucker to be what you want them to be.
yeah, don't be trying to make people get married that don't want to be married. Because that never works out well.
And if you're a dude, don't be fucking trying to marry somebody just because that's what the hell they want.
And don't
If you
tell
ain't ready, you
somebody
ain't ready.
and don't tell somebody you want to marry them just because you don't want them to leave, because that's fucked up.
Very much so.
You
Playing with
know,
people's
yeah,
There's the
don't-
other dude that was like, I married her because I didn't want anybody else to. Like, that's not a premise to start on.
exactly, and yeah, don't be manipulating people that way. Because if you do that, you're trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bye.
And
so
divorce lawyers are expensive. A marriage license cheap than a motherfucker.
okay, so the next letter, and this is a dilemma. He says,
Already seen we solve problems. The fuck Steve Harvey ever do? Anyway,
he says, "Hello, Star, Magic, and Storm."
oh shit, you got top billing? All right.
You know, point person.
You next, you next.
He said, "I'm a 31-year-old able-bodied male.
That helps.
I've been with my current girlfriend for a year and a half. She's really a nice woman. I don't want anyone to think otherwise." Which is always a setup for what's wrong with her, right?
They all crazy. We know. We got you.
Yeah. The problem is, I just don't want to be with her. I knew it 6 months into our relationship, but then she was
hung
involved
around
in a
for a
car
year?
crash that left her legs paralyzed. But I didn't I didn't want anyone to think I dumped her because she was impaired, so I stayed. I guess I hoped she would get feeling back in her legs. And then he says her doctor said there was a fairly good chance. But a year later, it hasn't happened. I feel stuck in this relationship. I don't want to disappoint her, her family, my family, or anyone in our small town. What's your advice?
Friend zone your damn self. And it's going to appear to be fucked up. People going to look at you funny. But as I said earlier in this episode, you have to live your truth. You know damn well you didn't stop wanting to be with her because of the accident. Clearly, there's other shit going on. If motherfuckers don't get it, they don't get it. Why you living for them instead of your damn self?
Yeah, you can't. You can't. First of all, thanks for writing in.
Yeah.
Second, you can't live your life for others. You're doing yourself a disservice, and you're actually doing her
That's what I
a
was going to
disservice.
point out. Yeah.
Because your heart's not completely in it, and so you're staying with her out of, compassion. And, and you care about her probably still, but you're just not in that way where you want to be in a relationship, you know? End it, because here's the thing, you're not finding what's out here for you to make you happy, and you're also holding her up for finding what's out
Absolutely.
here to make her happy.
Absolutely.
So the most compassionate thing that you can absolutely do, because here's something else that might not have been considered. um if you've been emotionally out of this relationship for what, a
A
year?
year?
A year.
Yeah, for about a year now. She feels it. Um she may not know exactly what it is, because she's probably she's concentrating and focusing on her recuperation, but she feels it. All women do. We know when the guy is just not there, and you're probably there trying to help her get through this, and you're doing the best that you can, but she feels it. So the best thing you can do for both of you is to just end it, in a compassionate way, of course, and fuck what other people think. You can't live your life for what other people's opinions are, because somebody's always not gonna like whatever it is that you do.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, what Star said is on point. You're not doing her any favors by
None.
being with her when you don't want to be with her. I understand you don't want to look like the bad guy, but this is not a sustainable situation.
Yeah.
Not at
So
all.
you're going to leave eventually. At some point, that it's going to become so untenable that you cannot stay, and you're going to have to leave sooner or later. You should have left a year ago, when you first knew that you didn't want to be there.
I'll say, to be fair, you can understand why dude didn't just.
Yeah, you
Well,
can't just bounce in that moment.
okay, I'm thinking
You
that
gotta give it 6 months.
I'm thinking that he knew that he didn't want to be with her before she had the car accident and just didn't say anything, was waiting for the right moment or whatever and didn't say anything, and then she had the accident. That's the way it played out in my head. Like he knew, like he was going to break up
Entirely
with her,
possible.
and then she
Yeah.
had the car accident, and then he was like, well damn, I can't break up with her now. So, the time to break up with her was when you first knew that you didn't want to be in that relationship. Um and if people think it's because, you know, sh- she's paralyzed, you can't control what people think. you,
Uh,
you can't control what people think. But you're
It be
not
them same motherfuckers looking at you now like, oh, he only with her because of the accident.
exactly.
Do what the fuck you want. Same amount of people are gonna love you or hate you. As long as you're
yeah.
doing what the hell you please, at least you know the hate or the fucking love is true.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, but yeah, you're not doing her any favors by staying with her. I wouldn't want somebody to be with me out of a sense of obligation. Like that's no fun for anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
Uh, so maybe talk to her. Um, maybe talk to her and make it so that she understands that it's not because of her condition that you've known all along and you thought, I don't know, just you're gonna have to get out of it because
Yeah.
yeah, it's not sustainable in the way that it is. And I mean, if you stay, what's the end game? You know what I mean?
Misery.
And that's what I'm saying, because she may never regain the use of her legs. And so then you're just there. And doing what? Are you going to marry this woman out of a sense of obligation? You know what I mean? Like eventually you're going to have to break it off with her. So I
Yeah.
mean, the sooner you do it, actually the more humane it's going to be. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no time like the present. Do it now. Rip that band-aid right off.
Yep.
The sooner you do it, the sooner you both can start to heal.
Heal. Yep. I agree.
And the sooner you get out of the way, then somebody may come into her life who absolutely adores her, for who she is, and it doesn't matter that she can't use her legs or whatever. But you just can't be standing there blocking what she might get, and you can't have her there blocking what may be coming to you. So,
Yeah.
and I know you said you're in a small town, and I understand. But here's the
Small town
thing.
politics.
Yeah, here's the thing. You ain't got to stay there.
They ain't even it, man. Fuck them people. They would have left a year ago.
Well, and yeah, but I'm saying, if it gets too heavy, then I mean, there are other places to live. Is what I'm saying. You don't have to stay there if it gets too hard. But I suspect that it'll all blow over. I really do.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
In any event, good luck.
Good luck to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll both be better off.
you'll both be better off. Is what I think. But I mean, and I understand though, you don't want to come across as the bad guy, but sometimes it's better to be the bad guy in the short term.
No one else is walking in
Yipper.
those shoes but you.
Yeah,
So
because
it doesn't matter what other people have to say. People gonna talk.
yeah, I mean, in just the same way I said you can't force somebody to get married that doesn't want to get married, you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because I mean, that's just a recipe for resentment. And, you know, if you were to
My G,
stay,
it's gonna be dramatic, but you're gonna have to ride that shit out.
Yep.
yeah, I mean,
It's gonna be a whole lot of tears happening.
and there may not be. She may just be like,
Shh.
okay. You know what I mean? Like, she may not have any tears. Now, your
Good luck
family's,
with that.
well, she may not. I mean, you'd be surprised.
And you know
Man,
what? If you've been out of this relationship, emotionally
mentally.
for a year, mentally,
Yeah,
emotionally for a year, she you may come to find out that she may be feeling similar and just
yeah. And
didn't want to say
maybe
anything.
she doesn't want to break up with you because she
Yeah.
feels like she's obligated to stay with you because you stuck by her when she
Yeah.
lost the use of her leg. I mean, you don't know. You don't
Yeah.
know, but you're gonna have to talk to her, and you're gonna have to break it off,
Yep.
and you'll both be better off in the long run.
Absolutely. Good luck to you.
Good luck, and let us know.
Yeah, please let us know the outcome.
Word.
Thank you to our listeners for writing in. We encourage all questions, dilemmas, situations, letters,
Nudes.
nudes, mail nudes.
Mail nudes, definitely.
Oh.
Send those right along to the threesome podcast at gmail.com. We will rate you.
Oh no, that's not cool.
or
If
we
they ask.
or we won't, depending on what you want. If you want a rating, we'll give you one. Don't be mad.
If you want reciprocation, let me know. Women only.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Oh,
guys.
I'm gonna specify
You
shit.
better clean that right on up.
Alright. If you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. And if you don't, Tell everybody you know it is the Threesome Podcast on Facebook and Instagram because they're owned by the same people. And the Threesome Pod on Twitter. What is it? The Threesome Podcast at gmail.com.
That would be it.
All right. Thanks for writing in. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
Entendres.
I'm going to go walk the dog.